Hi everyone, I'm Lily Lanoff. I'm so happy to be here celebrating 8830 in the Blog Parade. I'm the author of One for All, which is my debut novel coming out from FSG in winter 2022. For non-publishing folks, that's somewhere between January and March. It's an own voices, gender-bent retelling of Three Musketeers with a chronically ill own voices main character. I'm also the creator and founder of Disabled Kidlit Writers, which is a group designed for disabled writers of Kidlit, which can cover anything from young adult to middle grade to picture books. Disabled Kidlit Writers was born because of a severe lack of community space for disabled writers. Kidlit has been at the forefront of publishing for insisting for diverse representation, what with the organization We Need Diverse Books and Corinne Dalvis founding the Own Voices hashtag. Despite all this, only 3.4% of Kidlit books surveyed last year had a disabled main character. That includes characters with mental illness, mental disabilities, physical disabilities, chronic illness, neurodiverse characters, etc. And most of those titles are written by people who aren't disabled. A lot of them are written by parents of disabled children or siblings of disabled people. And while those narratives have a place and a purpose, they have completely overwhelmed publishing. Disabled people are fully capable of telling our own stories. And frankly, we tell them better. Our stories are not inspiration porn. Shout out to the late Stella Young, fodder for non-disabled people seeking inspiration in their own lives. They are not full of disability as metaphor or flat disabled, one-dimensional disabled characters mainly there to service the plot and maybe die tragically in the hero's arms to signify the importance of the frailty of life before Act 3. Disabled writers are writing our stories. The number of disabled writers in our group alone can attest to that. But gatekeeping is a huge problem. Again and again we hear, we're not sure if there's a readership for this, or we don't know how to market this. Disabled Kidlit Writers celebrated its one-year anniversary just earlier this week. It started on July 29th, 2019, but it was a work in progress for so much before then. It's a place where we don't have to worry about being told our work is too niche because we write about disabled people. We started with a few disabled writers and have blossomed to 180 members. Our space is a welcoming and supportive environment. We've celebrated book deals, book launches, agent signings, articles placed in various media outlets. We've helped find sensitivity reading jobs, pitch opportunities, and contests. There are entire threads full of comments about how to deal with bad pain days, how exactly to write through brain fog, and what in the world is the horror that is the one-page synopsis. And frankly, I wish I had an answer for you all, but it's something that I still struggle with. My own story about disability, like so many other disabled individuals, is fraught with overcoming internalized ableism and shame. And like people with invisible disabilities, a lot of that had to do with, is this something that I even talk about? Do I even talk about the fact that I'm disabled? For the longest time, I thought my chronic illness was something that I needed to hide. It was a sign of weakness. And I know that if I had the opportunity to read a book with a character like me in middle school and high school, or truly to have seen any sort of representation, whether that were in literature or in the media, I wouldn't have felt so alone. I don't think I would have spent most of high school hiding my condition to the extent where I would hide in my high school's bathroom stalls to take my medication, which was ridiculous because I was taking a pill every 2 hours. So think about how many times I had to leave class to do that. I don't want other kids growing up like I did, assuming that their disabilities are parts of themselves they need to hide or suppress in order to be a real part of society. I don't want kids reading books where the only disabled characters are the ones in need of saving. I want disabled kids reading books where disabled main characters are saving the world, are saving their friends, their families, themselves. And because I'm a bookworm, I couldn't let this opportunity pass without recommending some wonderful Kidlit by some Own Voices authors with disability rep, physical disability rep, neurodiverse rep, chronic illness rep, mental disability rep. Okay, so my book stack is right here. I have it ready. First is For a Muse of Fire by Heidi Helig. I apologize for the mirroring effect on this video. Then I have The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. And then up next are a few books by disabled Kidlit writers who are members of the group. So first off is Marie Niekamp's new book, Even If We Break. This is out in the fall. I must warn you, I could not sleep until I finished reading it. It is a thriller. You have been warned. Then also edited by Marie is Unbroken, which is a book very near and dear to my heart. It's an anthology all by Own Voices disabled Kidlit authors. So I can't recommend this book enough. And then I also have Katie Gardner's two books, Brave Enough and Finding Balance. Finding Balance is out this fall, and they're beautiful Own Voices representations of cancer and physical disability. Okay, and I think that's about it. Thank you so much for letting me blab about the importance of disability representation in Kidlit. If I had one thing to ask you, the viewers, is to call on publishing houses to buy and take on more stories by disabled authors about us. Go out and buy some of these books or request them for your local libraries. You don't have to buy a physical hard copy to support authors. Follow them on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever form of social media you prefer. Tell them that you appreciate the work that they're doing. Tell other people about their books. Word of mouth is super important. And yes, and thank you so much. Hopefully we can get that 3.4% number up, and hopefully that will mostly be populated by disabled writers. Thank you so much.